what we've heard at the moment is that we may see the interest rates increase over the next 18 months to 2 years, 2024. So they may ease back. What that also means is that they could increase over that time as well, which is going to put a little bit more pressure on the market for people having to still borrow quite high and their repayments on those mortgages. So we may see more people having to bring their realities down on what they're needing to borrow to still be able to get into that market to ensure that there's any offset from those increasing interest rates.
What does that mean for the wider economy?
It means that people are going to have to now focus more on their debt, and there's going to be less money out there being spent into the economy as well, which is hopefully what the Reserve Bank are trying to do, is to try and slow this market down for the rate of inflation.
I guess what's led us to this point?
COVID was a big player in this. There's a lot of money being spent, so interest rates went obviously astronomically down to around 2%. What that did was freed up a lot more money to be able to be borrowed, and it was so cheap to be able to be borrowed as well. And people have been able to borrow, and they were borrowing to their hilt as well. Instead of being conservative and just borrowing small amounts of money, they were borrowing as much as they possibly can. It was also a very competitive market out there to buy property, so people were having to borrow more. What this means now is the interest rates now sitting at around about 6.5, 6.9, even in the sevens. Their repayments are going to go up quite significantly as well, which means they have to be a little bit more conservative on what they're spending their money on outside of the necessity expenses. I do believe that in the next 18 months to 2 years, we may see those interest rates ease back, which means there'll be a little bit more pressure off people's shoulders, and hopefully that'll make more people want to feel a little bit more sure that they're going to be able to afford their mortgages moving forward.
When you say ease back, do you mean that the rate of increase will slow, or that it'll come down?
The rate of increase will slow. We're hoping that the rates will start to stabilise, and then around that 2025, we may expect to see the interest rates start to drop back a little bit as well, which means just makes people's mortgage repayments easier.
What would you see if there's a potential change in the government?
I think the investors will probably come back. At the moment, we don't see many investors buying properties. The rules are too hard. Not only is it hard to be a landlord, it's hard to make it a viable business, because like an ordinary business, you can offset costs against taxes, but with investments you can't. So that's been a stall for a number of, probably at least pre-COVID. So I'd like to think that the investors will come back, which would be great, because that means there'll be more houses for people to live in. And because the rules are strict now around healthy homes, the homes are better. So people are in warmer homes, drier, they work, things don't break. I'm sure there's some out there, but in the main, I know a property manager here, her homes are immaculate, that she manages. So yeah, that would be good to see.